This video is made for the sake of entertainment and is by no means a real long video or intended for children whatsoever. If you're expecting a real long video, don't watch this. This is taken from Mike's Toontown. Another note, this entire series was inspired by Mike's Toontown, and I mean the entire series. So, every time we have one of these, or I, since I'm the only one here in this channel, I'll mention him every time because, well, I just don't know how it inspired me, but anything is possible. So, hats off to you, Mike's Toontown. Let's just begin. What you're seeing right now is Mike's Toontown's 4th Plush Brain Storytime vid, Jimmy Neutron, Llama Drama. And I was expecting something good since we have Carl Wheezer in there and all, but Mike's Toontown decided to do this.
You know how we still think this is kind of a dumb idea for a series?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, guess what? We've inspired another person to make videos like these.
I was suddenly like, oh, wait a minute. Slowly, I was thinking, oh, are they talking about me? Is he talking about me? And soon enough, I was actually correct.
You're kidding. I'm not kidding. Oh my god. Matthew, I forgot your last name, sorry. Oof. Oh, Great Bart, don't humiliate us. I already did, sorry. Ah!
Whoa, no, I'm kidding. It's okay. Nobody really doesn't know how to pronounce my name, really. Like, only a few people managed to get my last name right. But the last name is Chesser. That would be Matthew Chesser. I was afraid you might mispronounce it, that's why you forgot it, but to avoid any confusion, that's how you pronounce my last name, Chesser. But I was like, what in the world? I was like, really? Dude, I had to pause the video for a few seconds because I was in disbelief. I feel like it was a dream, but guess what? It was not. It was the real world, and man, that was cool.
So he made a series like this too? Yes, he calls it Nostalgia Stories, and the way he introduced it was quite the sight to be seen. He was like, hello everyone, welcome to Plush Brain Nostalgia Stories. Wow, and you wanna know what made the joke perfect? What? He took our logo and literally scribbled all over it. Okay, give me that one. Oh, by the way, Matthew, if you were worried about us getting mad about that, don't worry. We're all right with people using our videos when they mention us, as long as they don't claim it's theirs. So, if you were worried that we'd get mad about you, don't worry. We're good. We're good. It's all good.
It's all good.
If you were curious, this was the logo he was talking about. And yes, I was kind of worried, but I tried my best to credit you all I can, Mike's Toontown, and I will include this video and the rest of the videos following with this series because it's all been inspired. I might get a new logo soon, or maybe I should keep this one. I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably make a new one soon. But wait a minute, he was not finished. He was not finished. Because guess what? He actually had another surprise. And I was like, I don't know what, but just watch this.
That's another big thing. You know how Matthew said if we had any more surprises? What is this about? Look down. Oh! No, we're not doing that obtained stuff again. This isn't a video game.
Sorry.
You're welcome.
Yes. Yes. Yes!
I was extremely happy that Mike's Toontown actually got the rest of the Nick Zone books. Seriously, now he owns all of the Nick Zone books.
All of it! All of it!
That seems to be all the Nick Zone books known. That could be extremely rare ones or ones that are unreleased, but that's all of them so far, and I'm pretty sure that's the entire collection. So all Nick Zone books have been covered, and Mike's Toontown's going to cover all of them for Plush Brain Storytime. So the book I have gotten for this nostalgic story is the Wild Form Marys It's Easter, Eliza. Since today is Easter by the time you watch this, because I'm scheduling it for Easter, since it's perfect for it, since tomorrow is Easter. By the way, happy Easter to you all, or today. If you're watching this, I'm currently hanging out, so yeah, I'm gonna be reading this today because it's Easter, and it's a Wild Form Marys book. So I'm gonna have some fun since I like Wild Form Marys a lot. I really like the entire Nicktoon. Now, before we get to the story, I have an announcement. I am going to be stating that I'm going to try to be more active on the rest of my social media accounts. That will be including Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, but mostly Twitter. Because for the next nostalgic story, I am going to have the viewers, which is you, vote for the next episode. And it's going to be on the Twitter poll because YouTube decided to take down the polls for the cards section on the Creation Studio. And I do not have enough subscribers to reach the community tab. I need at least 1,000 subscribers in order to get access to it. Or a chance to get access to it. So, I don't know what answer is going to happen. But anyway, it's going to be on Twitter. The poll is going to be on Twitter. And I'm going to have 4 Nickelodeon Nicktoon books. But it's not going to be Wild Form Marys because that is the story I'm going to read today. And Rugrats, I'm not going to do a Rugrats book because I already done it for the very first episode. Since it's a Rugrats book, not Rocket Power, because it's the crossover, Rocket Power is going to be in the selection. They're only in the part of the cast, and it had the Rugrats print, not the Rocket Power print, so it counts as a Rugrats book, not a Rocket Power book. So, with that being said, how about we just get right into it with the Wild Form Marys It's Easter, Eliza. Here we are. It's Easter, Eliza, by Wendy Wax. Oh my. This name sounds familiar. If you don't know, Wendy Wax was also responsible for Rocket Power Reggie's Secret Admirer, which was Mike's Toontown's first Plush Brain story time. Wow. Oh dear. Oh dear. We're just gonna go in. Oh dear. How much am I gonna run to Wendy Wax with these books? Don't know how, but this is my first encounter. So let us commence forth. There's also this Discovery Facts page. You can read it if you want. I don't know what that is, but it might be unique to the Wild Form Marys books. Since this list is all the animals and whatnot, that might be a unique feature, and I actually like that page. Here we go. Don't wait up for us, Marianne called as she and Nigel head into the Costa Rican rainforest. They're hoping to get footage of the Caracajou. Is this going to be a recurring theme for these Wild Form Marys books? Mispronouncing names? Hope not. Continuing. Which only comes out at night. Can I please come? Eliza said, begging. I'm afraid not, Puppet, Nigel said. The rainforest is no place for a 12-year-old at night. Get a good night's sleep, girls, said Marianne. I have a special Easter plan for tomorrow. I'm going to try to do impressions. Mostly the male characters, I can't do female voices. Anyways, this is some nice art. Look at Darwin just casually eating the cheese munchies. That's funny. This place is one big freeze factory, complained Debbie. Again, mispronouncing words, I'm sorry, but I'm not a good reader. I can read pretty good, but not entirely well. So bear with me, please. It's a good thing no one I know suddenly crash! Bang! Boom! Crash, boom, bang? Sorry. Something bumped into the convey! What was that? Darwin whispered to Eliza. Lock the doors! Cried Debbie. I like the fact that Donnie is still sleeping. I think he's still sleeping from the noise, too. Look at him. Come on, darling, said Eliza. Let's go see what it is. I like being inside, said Darwin. I prefer staying out of the lion's way. Lions don't live in Costa Rica, silly, Eliza said. That's what it is, Costa Rica. I mispronounced it the first page. Good thing I regained my bounties here. Outside, it was cool, damp, humid, quiet, until something bumped, smack, into Darwin. Ah! Darwin screamed as he leaped back in fright. Oh, Darwin. What if Darwin was actually braver? Imagine that. Continuing on, Eliza saw a creature that seemed to be wearing a coat of armor. Hey, you're the 9-banded armadillo, aren't you? She asked. That I am, said the armadillo. Though I actually have 10 bands. I'm terribly sorry for bumping into your friend. My eyesight is very poor. Then how do you get around? Asked Darwin. I can smell and hear extra well, the armadillo replied. Anyway, I must be going. I'm about to become a father to a set of identical quadruplets any minute now. Now that's one set of Easter babies I'd like to see, said Eliza. Let's go, Darwin. But Eliza, Darwin said, but his best friend was already following the bumping, crashing armadillo into the rainforest. Oh, wait for me, he cried out. Darwin, why do you have to be an indoors monkey? Look, I understand, but at the same time, live a little.
Live a little.
Yeah, live a little. Sheesh.
Since we're on the topic of monkeys, look at the next page. Suddenly, they heard loud howls and grunts. Lions! Shrieked Darwin. Howler monkeys, said Eliza. On the trees above them sat at least a dozen shadowy figures. Don't worry, Darwin. They like it better up there. Darwin said, sniffing. They are nosy. Hey, where's the armadillo? Eliza said, looking around. The armadillo has disappeared. Uh-oh. I guess we'll never see the armadillo babies now, Eliza said. Let's go home, whined Darwin. It's dark and wet, and it's scary. You complain about it, Darwin? Reminds me of Rugrats Go Wild. He's like, Eliza, you'll never believe this. There's this little girl, and he's basically a miniature Deborah. Oh, she's loud, she's bossy, and she's hideous. Oh, Darwin, come on, Darwin. Darwin, I like you, but don't be like that to my homegirl, man. I'm sorry, this is already. I'm just gonna continue. That was cringe. That was super cringe. Continue. It's fun, said Eliza. Listen, do you hear that hooting? How could I miss it? Darwin said, his hands over his ears. That's a spectated owl, Eliza said, remembering what she had read. She was amazed at all the sounds she heard. I don't know how Rugrats Go Wild was an actual movie. It could have been fit as a TV movie, but it has to be theatrical release. It was a good movie, though, I have to say. Very good, man. A half an hour later, they heard classical music in the distance. Was it the Beethoven? Good choice. A campsite, said Eliza. Maybe they can help us find our way home. But seconds later, the music was drowned out by the sound of splashing water. They were right by a waterfall. It smells so fresh, Elijah said when she saw the waterfall. Just then, something swooped down and gently brushed against her head. Eliza jumped. It looks like a bat. What? Is this gonna be a secret? Gonna be a Halloween story with vampires? It's Easter, bro. But never mind. What was that? Asked Darwin, squinting in the darkness. Well, it could have been a fishing bulldog bat, Eliza said. They eat fish, which is probably why it's hanging out at the waterfall. You mean they are hanging out at the waterfall, said Darwin, pointing to the group of bats circling and sweeping above their heads. Yikes! Darwin, come on. Claiming you're a handsome, capable primate. At least Darwin's respectful for him. He's cowardly, but kind. So you can't hate him. We're lost, said Eliza, suddenly feeling afraid. I want to go home, Darwin moaned. I want the hot shower and some cheese munchies. What do you think this is, a resort? Darwin, it wasn't on a cruise ship and Go Wild. What if we don't making it back in time for Easter, Eliza said quietly. Mom planned a perfect family day. Maybe we won't ever make it back, Darwin cried. Did I just say "quai" like a rugrat? I cracked myself up. Meanwhile, Debbie began to wonder where her sister was. Eliza! She cried. Eliza! Eliza! Oh, jeez. That was bad. But there was no answer. Arrgh! How did I get stuck with such a derpy sister? Debbie said, grumbling as she grabbed the flashlight. Grumbling? Yeah, I guess so. If Eliza doesn't come back, Mom and Dad are gonna ground me forever. As if I haven't suffered enough. Come on, Donnie. Drippy Rainforest, here we come. Wait, is Donnie gonna talk soon? I hope so. But Donnie's on the move now. This isn't so bad, said Debbie, approaching the tree with the Howard monkeys. But then the monkeys began to howl and grunt. Help! She cried, reaching for Donnie, but he has scampered up the tree. Scampered up the tree. Calm down, Donnie! Cried Debbie, shining the flashlight into the branches. This made the monkeys grunt and howl even louder. Donnie! Debbie yelled shakily. We're in the worst nightmare of my life! Look, he was like... Look at him. Wild child. Eliza tried to figure out how to get back to the convent. I have an idea, she finally said. The armadillo can't see well, so he relies on his senses of hearing and smell to get around, and so can we. Darwin, all we have to do is backtrack by listening and smelling. It would have been easier if we had left the trail of cheese munchies, said Darwin. True, but maybe other animals could have eaten it, Darwin, and you'd still be lost. But at least you find something, right? Eliza and Darwin stood very quietly and listened. They sniffed the air. I don't believe this is working, said Darwin after a few minutes. Give it time, said Eliza. But there was no way of knowing whenever the animals she heard were the ones she had seen. And the rainforest smelled like... well, the rainforest. There's one. Listen, Darwin, Eliza said suddenly. I hear and smell the waterfall. Wait, how far away were you two? I thought you wasn't that far away. You were that far? Like, how many miles or feet? If you say that, then you must have been drawing far away. But, okay. A few minutes later, they heard the music again. That must be the campsite, said Eliza, and it smells like they are barbecuing. Maybe they can show us how to get home, Darwin said. We're doing fine on our own, said Eliza. Yeah, Darwin, have some self-confidence, some self-esteem. Yeah, I know how it feels, Darwin, I know. But sometimes, you gotta take risks. Eliza and Darwin kept walking and listening and sniffing until they heard the grunts and howls of Howard monkeys. That's the tree, said Eliza, starting to run. Darwin followed. When they were about 20 feet from the tree, they heard a very familiar voice. That's Debbie, whispered Eliza, peering over a damp bush. Ooh, Donnie does talk! Cool. We have to stick together, Donnie, Debbie was saying. If we don't get rescued, can you teach me how to live in the wild? Said Donnie, sticking out his tongue. I'll miss Mom and Dad, and even Eliza. Yes, she acts like a dweeb sometimes, but I love her and wish I had the chance to tell her. Even like Darwin, though his breath always smells cheesy. Does he also smell steamy? Oh, that was terrible. That was a terrible plankton joke. But I bet it does smell cheesy with all those cheese munchies. I'm still kind of mad at Darwin. I mean, he thinks Angelica is hideous. She's a brat, I know, but she's not hideous, Darwin. What? Are you really much of a fashion critic? I really don't know why I like Angelica. I said that already in the first episode, Nostalgic Stories. I just don't know what it's about her, man. I just don't know. So I'm just gonna shut the mouth and continue, because... I'm I'm just gonna continue. I'm just gonna continue. I'm not even gonna say anything else. See, Darwin, Debbie's not so bad, said Eliza. Yeah, Darwin, like for real. Then she ran over to her sister and gave her a big hug. Eliza! Called Debbie, throwing her arms around her sister, and then quickly pulling back. Where have you been? She demanded. Because if you had to go out in this stinky rainforest, my hair is suffering big time. Big time rush. Add that to the collection of awful Nickelodeon puns. Eliza smiled. Looks fine, she said. Come on, sis, let's go home. As the sky grew lighter, they came across the armadillo. How are you? Asked Eliza, thrilled to see her friend again. Are you a father yet? I am, the armadillo declared proudly. Come see. Debbie and Eliza peered into the armadillo's burrow. Inside was an incredible sight. 4 identical baby armadillos. Congratulations, said Eliza. Your babies were born on a very special holiday called Easter. Is that the reason why this is called Easter, besides the Easter day that Marianne was planning? There was not really much of Easter in that story, but I guess it's an Easter book. And it was a good book. It was a decent book. Eliza, Debbie, Darwin, and Donnie arrived at the convent just a minute before Marianne and Nigel. Happy Easter! Yeah! That was awful. I'm sorry. I want to work on my impressions, bro. I really do, said Nigel. Up early to get your Easter baskets, eh? We got some great footage of the Kinkashu, or whatever it's called. Sorry, said Marianne. And now we are famished. Who's ready for a big Easter breakfast? I bet Darwin is. He looks pretty excited there. Before anyone could answer, Eliza noticed a brilliantly colored bird perched in a near tree. A cortisone, I think is what it's called, she whispered excitedly. A rare find indeed, said Nigel. He reached for the video camera and then stopped. Today is Easter, a day for family footage only. Oh, Dad, said Eliza. I'll stand next to it so you can get both of us. Ah, that's my girl, Nigel said, smilingly as he pressed the record button. What is Donnie doing over there? He's like, oh, that was awful. Hey everyone! Happy Easter! Shouted Eliza. And Darwin, are you really freaking out over a butterfly? It's a butterfly! It's harmless, Darwin. He's like, you look shocked. Don't be, Darwin. Well, that concludes this book. It was pretty short, but it was good for Easter. Alright, now it's time to do the outro. Well, that concludes the Wild for Mary's It's Easter, Eliza. Thank you all for watching. Now, it's time to announce the poll. I have 4 Nicktoon books, and it will be a poll on Twitter. Not this Easter, but Monday I'll try to post it along with my first post on Twitter. You have a choice between the 4 books, and I should have a time limit somewhere. It should be very long. At the end of the time, the book with the most votes will be episode 3 of Nostalgic Stories. You ready to see what your choices are? Your choices are SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob and the Princess, Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, Jimmy Strikes Out, The Very Odd Parents, The Timmy Touch, and finally, Rocket Power, Chasing Dad. Which book do you want me to read next? Check out the poll on Twitter following this Easter. And I'm very excited to see what you guys come up with, if anyone's even going to vote at all. If there's a tie or there's no votes at all, then I'll just pick one myself. But anyways, I thank you all for watching. This really was a fun time to do, like the other episode. It was extraordinary. I gotta say, it was nothing more than just fun, and more fun. And if you want to see Mike's Toontown's books on Little Llama Drama and Reggie's Secret Admirer, which is his 4th and 1st episode of Pledge Players Boy Time, if you want to take a look at those since they were mentioned in this video, the end screen's coming up, or just cut to the chase and check the link in the description. I'm very excited for some of these books because they seem somewhat interesting. And I get this because I haven't read them yet, and it's going to be a fun time. I'm really excited to see that. But hey, that's just a story! A nostalgic story! Thanks for watching!